Now, I promise, my whole intent is not to infuriate the MAGA or the Republican guys, right? But I gotta be honest, this shit is fucking hilarious to me. That your president, your commander in chief, is throwing every fucking campaign promise out the fucking window before day one stepping into office. I completely agree with what they said. We need the HB1 visas. But we don't need them just in the tech sector. For the tech bros to continue to go ahead and build their market cap up over these $1 trillion evaluations because they want to eliminate the workforce and don't want to pay American techs or American engineers what they're worth. The going rate of $130,000, they'd rather pay $85,000 for particular jobs, right? And then you got on top of that Trump saying, well, I've always supported HB1 visas. Now, prior to election, it was, these are very bad. It's not fair to Americans. Got to do away with HB1 visas. Now that he's in office, beat prosecution solely out such, and is in bed off of Elon Musk. God knows what Elon has on this guy. Now it's, oh, I've always believed in HB1 visas. I've used the program myself. We know, Old Orange. That's how you built your hotels. We know, stupid. The funny thing is, you know, you want the cheap labor force to go ahead and benefit the tech bros, but you don't want the cheaper labor force to benefit us as the American people, as far as the consumers, the small business owner, or the homeowner. And I keep saying this through these particular posts, and I'm going to continue to say it, because at the end of the day, we do need the HB1 visa program. You don't have Americans that want to go fucking work in the fucking heat for fucking X amount of change and have to do framing or fucking bricklaying, cement slabs, all kinds of shit. Don't nobody want to go ahead and do that shit for these type of wages that the cheaper labor force is willing to do it for. Nor will they do it at the quality, because they don't have the experience. They're not out there. They're not out there in the heat, anxious to go ahead and do any of that shit and continue to learn. That's not their motherfucking trade. Americans have gotten spoiled. If you want to go do that shit, there's nothing that's stopping you. There's nobody stopping you from going to get that particular job. Now, if you want your wages to increase, then yeah, I can completely understand that. Why you wouldn't want to go work out in the fucking frigid cold, or the fucking the damn fucking heater, if you will. I don't, or the furnace. I don't blame you for not wanting to go and work in that type of shit for the wages that they're offering. You know, unless you have something on your record, you don't have a fucking choice to go ahead and do it, or you're just in the back-breaking fucking work. But at the end of the day, we know if you're working out in that heat, or that, let's say the heat, for instance, your body's going to have a fucking fever by the time you get done with those shifts. Because you're going to work so fucking hard in that heat, your body's going to be overheated and trying to cool itself fucking down. In the cold, you're going to be so fucking cold, you could break bones with a very fucking ease, with a drill or anything in that sense. A hammer, you could fall off something, whatever the fucking case may be. You could slip off something very easily, whatever the case, right? So now we got basically MAGA that's saying, you know what, I've always supported this shit when it benefits us. When it benefits us, the rich. We can get richer. We don't need to go and pay the American worker the American fees or the American wages to get what we need done in X amount of time, right? But for you, the consumer, fuck your landscaping, fuck your bricklaying, your slab cement, your motherfucking framing, your landscaping, all the shit. Just forget all that shit. Fuck you. You go ahead and pay those motherfucking $700 per palm trees now. Fuck that $350, $300 you were going ahead and get a deal from with the immigrants, right? Now, first and foremost, I hate even fucking saying this and talking about them like they're a cheaper labor force, because these are fucking people. These are also my fucking ancestry, right? And these people work their fucking ass off. And you talk about a point fucking 0.0008 of a fucking percent that basically is, yes, there are some bad fucking apples in every fucking group, in any country, in any motherfucking creed, shape, or form. That's just the scenario you get. But we have a much bigger fucking problem with the rapists and the murderers just being American home base. Yes, while we don't need it to be added to the fucking problem, at the end of the day, realistically, there's ways to go ahead and get around that type of shit, right? We can do a better vetting process. We can speed up the motherfucking... We can speed up the motherfucking immigration process to be able to go ahead and determine whether or not the person's able to go ahead and get here, or, you know, is going to be able to contribute to this country or not. And if not, then they know they wasted their fucking time. They're going to be sent right back, right? We can do all that. But you don't want to go ahead and do that. And a lot of the Americans that piss me off with the MAGA, and this is where I do laugh at you motherfuckers, is you sit there, got all races thinking that Americans or immigrants are taking your fucking jobs, the one that you don't want to go and work. And if you did, you would have no problem going and fucking doing it. You'd be able to get the fucking job, right? Because there's a shortage in workforce regardless. There's not enough fucking immigrants to fill that motherfucking void and need for building new houses and building all kinds of shit. doing auto work, agricultural work, home improvement, motherfucking home care, maid service, whatever, house cleaning, whatever you want to call it. But you motherfucking idiots were, oh yeah, nominate Hitler, and then when Hitler decides to not be Hitler anymore because he beat the fucking prosecution, and now at this point he knows he can't fucking campaign again in the next 4 years, and at this point it's better to be on the side of the money rather than against it. When this month, now the next person gets elected, who is probably going to be Elon Musk, or at least that's going to be their potential candidate, or Ramaswamy, right? If you got that type of shit, now who knows, maybe MAGA gets so turned off by then they're forced to go ahead and get some new candidates, but you guys all look like fools. You were basically voting for somebody that fucked around and told you a whole bunch of fucking lies, a whole bunch of bullshit, dressed it up with basically telling you that he's a fucking full of shit by telling you these Haitians are eating cats and dogs. They're having baby sex changes and fucking in schools without the parents' permission, though they need a permission slip to go on a fucking field trip. They're spending taxpayer money on prisoners, gender changes, blah, blah, blah. They're killing babies after 9 months after being born or whatnot simply because the parents didn't want them. Fucking drink Lysol, inject yourself with UV light, maybe go ahead and swallow some fucking horse pills, some steroid pills, and follow that down with, if you can, maybe a little bit of bleach. This is your fucking president. This is the guy that you guys fucking nominated. And a lot of you motherfuckers are like, there's more money in the economy. We had more money in our pockets when Trump was around. You fucking idiots. This is where you motherfuckers get to be idiots, right? And I'm going to call you a fucking idiot for what it is. At the end of the day, you had more money in your pocket simply only in the COVID time, and that was strictly if you were fucking taking advantage of, obviously, the PPE money or the Tenant Act, because that bailout money wasn't enough for you to be like, oh, I have a lot more money in my pocket. Yeah, you got kicked out with some fucking freedoms, but where was all that money going? Who was fucking around and trying to go ahead and basically buy fucking toilet paper, if you will, buy everything off the shelves as if they were wholesaling it, and then fucking around and outselling it? Reselling it for revalue, whatever the case was, right, for W to value. Who was doing, what term did we ever see that in? Trump's term, right? Wasn't he supposed to protect the borders then? What happened then? He didn't protect them very well, did he? Nah. That thing, the whole fucking disease shut down the whole country, and that was over oceans away from us. And you knew about this shit in 2020. October 2020, and didn't do shit until March 21. Oh, sorry, I take that back. I'm sorry. March 2020 is when you actually did something. It was October 2018 you knew about the shit. Motherfuckers, this is hilarious to me, man. You guys are fucking, like, everybody was telling you, do the fucking research on what a tariff is. You motherfuckers somehow thought the tariff was going to be some sort of bargaining chip and bailed American, buy American. Do you idiots not realize how that's going to go ahead and affect inflation? I had one idiot tell me, well, tell us how it affects inflation. Easy, stupid motherfucker. At the end of the fucking day, if you fuck around and lose all the cheap labor force is willing to go ahead and do it for cheap labor, cheaper wages, then you have to pay American wages. That naturally raises fucking costs to the consumer. You gotta be fucking stupid if you don't know how that fucking works. Like, you really have to be stupid. You can go on Google and see how it works. You can get an example. Motherfuckers are so lazy and rather take the word from the horse's mouth that they believe in so fucking much because it fits your bias. Whatever that racist piece of shit bias was, or if you really feel like you were down and out so much that you couldn't get a fucking job because an immigrant was taking your shit, well then you're a lazy piece of shit. Probably with no skill set. And that's probably your fault. That's the truth. What Elon and Rami are saying, to be honest with you, if it was all around the board and they were saying, like, yes, we do need the HB1Vs for home care, for building and auto work and agricultural work, shit that you Americans don't want to fucking do. And I'm American, so when I say you Americans, I'm gonna fall into that fucking category too. But you don't want to fucking around and go and do this shit. I don't want to go and do this shit. I don't have a problem with a motherfucker coming over here want to go and do that shit, especially if they want to go and do it for cheap enough where it's gonna benefit us. Stupid motherfuckers. Then I had a motherfucker tell me, well, how does it affect the tax dollars or whatnot? They take all our tax money. How, you stupid motherfuckers? Do you not realize every single dollar they spend in the U.S. is taxed? They get taxed for Social Security, shit they can't use, Medicare, shit they can't fucking use, healthcare, shit they can't fucking use. They contributed $96 billion to Medicare and Social Security in 2022. And they stopped. Now, all of a sudden, they stopped doing the fucking numbers or whatnot. They stopped actually taking a look at that, and you wonder why, because who's coming in presidency? You got to be fucking retarded. Like, this is where I say, like, you know, at the end of the day, I can understand not understanding everything about supply and demand and how the economy works, but you got to be a fucking idiot not to have some sort of motherfucking idea how basically removing the cheaper labor force would fucking affect you. You motherfuckers love Taco Tuesday. You motherfuckers love that cheap landscaping. You love that cheap auto work, that cheaper roof, that cheaper tile work, that cheaper motherfucking landscape, all that good shit. You love that shit, right? But you want all those people that do it, you want them gone. How much you gonna fucking love your motherfucking president when you fucking have no motherfucking money coming in extra, as he's saying, or maybe that $30 extra from the tax cut that you get, but now you gotta pay several $100s more for every motherfucking service, or several hundred, at least probably another 10% for every other fucking household item. You got to be a dumb motherfucker to sit there and fuck around and think that you were voting this motherfucker and he was gonna do something for you. He didn't do shit for you the first time. You just were fucking living off a good economy that had been good since basically 2012, all the way up, because Obama took us to fucking from lows to new highs each motherfucking time. Economy's running on a streamline. And you know what happened? When COVID happened and he failed to do the COVID shit, they had to drop the interest rates to damn near fucking zero. And what happened? They gave all this fucking free money into the economy and everybody bought up all the fucking supply, which is why inflation is where it's at. Not to mention his tariffs that he put on your motherfucking stupid ass food, your goddamn fucking appliances. You fucking idiots thought that you had more money in the Trump era, and I guarantee if you go and take a look at that, you didn't. What happened was you had the same amount of money, but what happened is after Trump's bullshit, that shit that he pulled in COVID, prior to that, also with the tariffs, you basically fucked around and found out that, you know what? The cost of living just spiked 1,000 fucking percent. The fucking housing market's 300, 400%. Your wages didn't go up that much. They can't. Your company is not going to pay you that. Yes, maybe they could, but they're not. They didn't under Trump either. You didn't get higher wages. People say, oh, you got higher wages. You got higher wages in COVID because nobody wanted to fucking work because you had free tenant acts of PPE loans. People were doing fraudulent shit with left and right. That is what basically what people were saying, oh, I had higher wages. No, you didn't. They were offering higher wages to fuck around and get people in there. But realistically, those are the wages you should have got. I know because I worked at a company for over 10 years. I didn't get no significant wage increases. They didn't fuck around and really bring any new talent in for the level that I was getting paid. They bumped it up maybe $5,000. Yeah, from 45 to 50, right? Knowing that at the end of the day, they're getting the tax cut under Trump. The corporate tax cuts, right? So I can go ahead and do that and bring in the new talent. But anybody that's actually got the skill set, already is available, already has the know-how to go ahead and get shit done, we're not going to go ahead and pay these people what they want to go ahead and transition to these other positions. So these people say, fuck you, I ain't going to go and do the other position. And if they're forced to do it, eventually most of them are either taking leave or getting the fuck out. So you motherfuckers really thought this fool was going to save you. Now, before you say, well, what Biden do? I'll tell you what Biden did, basically, right? Biden basically showed us that he looked like the fucking Tales from the Crypt. He didn't know where the fuck he was at, but all while doing that, he still introduced the CHIP Act. He still introduced the CARE Act. Jerome Powell under Biden was able to go ahead and tame inflation. What you motherfuckers don't seem to understand is by taming inflation, it doesn't mean that it comes down. It means that it doesn't spike up more. So when they're trying to get 2% inflation, it basically means they're trying to go ahead and keep it from rising above 2%. Doesn't mean it's going to come down to negative 2%, negative 3%. That's not something they can really achieve. And if you took a look around the world, we're still doing the best as far as an economy is considered in opposed to most of these economies in the world. Still. We came out of this shit. We didn't have a fucking hard landing. We had a soft landing. The economy's done well. The fucking market went parabolic under Biden. Right? Realistically, you can grill them about the Ukraine war, but if you want to take a look at it, and you motherfuckers, since you all act like gang members, let me give you a gang member lesson, right? If you have enemies that are super fucking enemies, right? Let me just say, let's say you got a superpower like Russia, and you have a superpower like China, and you have Ukraine that's right next door to this motherfucker, that gives you the potential to strike first, build a base, also wants to be a part of fucking NATO, we have a lot more potential in touching them before they touch us, right? We're on their border. Russia's the closest Russia could get to us prior to pissing off probably Mexico, and obviously before Trump also did that bullshit with Cuba again, was somewhere across the water. But now it's in Cuba because of Trump's bullshit and in the embargo we have with Cuba. And so they're in striking distance there. Then you piss off Mexico. And then you piss off Canada. Now you're pissing off allies saying you want to invade Greenland. You want to fucking take back the Panama Canal. I thought you were against war. I thought the Republicans and the MAGA were, oh, we don't want to see the tax dollars go to war. We got our own shit here. Well, why does he want to go start new ones? Because we're being threatened by Denmark with military force in response to his bullshit, saying they want to go take over in the Greenland. Okay, well, if I'm a block, right? You think I'm just gonna let you take over my shit? There's blood, sweat, and tears on this block, and you think I'm gonna let you take over my shit? Nah, we gonna fight, right? So gang politics again. Ukraine war. While I agree, it's fucked up that we had to go and do some of that type of shit, and I don't really like to go and fund other people's wars. I don't like to see it, period. Putin did some crazy ass shit. If you let a motherfucker get too power hungry, they take that. The next straight is Poland, or right next to your ally. You are giving them position to go ahead and inflict pain before you can inflict it on them. It's all about checkmate on a fucking board. It's pretty fucking simple if you're able to think outside the box, or if you live certain experiences. It's power. Which is why your boy Donald Trump all of a sudden wants the Panama Canal back, because it's very lucrative, along with whatever he wants in Greenland. But doesn't give a fuck to go ahead and piss off Canada about the energy. Thinks for some reason he's going to convince oil companies to drill out here, but yet, are they going to be so eager to go ahead and do so if you oversupply a market with weakening demand? What happens when that happens? Prices go down. Gas companies like to see their profits up. They don't want to see it go back to motherfucking 99 where it's under $1. We don't live in a country that mass produces anything. We mass produce money. That's what we do. We have access to specialized skills because of the money we have, and because of the country we live in, and because of the shit that we are basically the biggest consumer, and we know how to do business. So because of that, yes, absolutely, we're still innovative, because at the end of the day, we drive the markets. But we don't mass produce anything. We don't mass produce anything. So when you start looking at people like the BRICS nation, all these other countries joining, then you got our president that's going at our allies now, also trying to cozy up to the enemy, right? It gets a little fucking weird and dicey. If you're looking at the stock market right now, historically, we normally get this Christmas rally. Now, nobody wants to talk about it, but the incoming policies are scaring the fuck out of the market. It's also overbought, and that's because it was doing such tremendous growth under Biden in them. That's the truth. Nobody wants to hear it, but the market speaks for its fucking self. Now, I will say when it goes parabolic like that, it's definitely due for a correction at some point, and you can guarantee with these new policies coming in, the market's looking at it like, I wonder if it's going to be this year, and if we're going to see a red year at some point. Under Trump, I promise you, we will see a red year. In his 4-year term, we might see 1 to 2 red years. I promise you. If I'm wrong, grill me about it. Fucking grill me. Tell me I don't know shit about the market. I will tell you happily, I oblige. I was wrong. But I'm not going to guarantee it, but I promise you, in my opinion, fuck it, I'll guarantee it in my opinion, we are going to have a red fucking year in the next 4 years, if not 2. You don't have to listen to it. You can fuck around and challenge me on everything that you want to challenge me on. But just understand, before you go ahead and do it, come with real fucking facts. Because I'll go ahead and research everything that you're trying to go ahead and talk about, and I'll make sure that I got facts to go ahead and come and combat that and debate that. Now, if you make me look like a fool, shout out to you with facts. But if you don't, so far, we almost had a government shutdown. This has nothing to do with Democrats anymore, because Republicans on the Senate and the House and the presidency, the fighting amongst everybody is amongst the Republicans. The Democrats are the ones that still somehow were able to go ahead and keep the government from shutting down, to get a bill passed. They needed the Democrats to get the votes to go ahead and now vote based on the Republicans that are at war with the MAGA. You got the tech bros, you got the tech right and the right now. It's crazy. You look at Steve Bannon. Look at him. He's in fucking shambles. The Laura, whatever her name is in shambles. Shambles. Feeling like they've been left out. The racist motherfucking whole ideology has been left out. Now, we'll give credit to one thing with Elon, right? He did say he's very persuasive. Before all this shit happened, he said he can be very persuasive. Now, I was pissed off. I didn't like the motherfucker that he's doing all this shit. But I'm starting to see at the end of the day, looks like he's just making a play to get more fucking power, be the president himself pretty much, and he's probably got some dirt on fucking Trump. And he's got enough money that he could probably really fucking smear his whole campaign. So I'll be looking to short the shit out of the DJT, and I'm sure Tesla will have some massive fucking shorts eventually, just based off of the relationship between them souring at some point, right? Now, I will say this. I don't know how to feel about Musk. There's a couple of ways I feel about it, right? I still feel like he wants to replace the entire workforce, that by which you MAGA motherfuckers are so worried immigrants will take your job, but he wants to create AI smart learning programs to eliminate everybody in the tech field, except with the exception of the 0.01%, because that's all that's needed to continue the AI run before it starts running on itself. Robots to go ahead and basically do any kind of labor work that you as humans and me as obviously fall into the same category that we can't fucking, that we cry about for having to do 8 hours of work. They'll go ahead and do it for 14. No motherfucking complaint. Just charge me up. Oh, I don't need a raise. I don't need any motherfucking 401k, no pension. There's no motherfucking risk of insurance or workers' comp or sexual harassment. None of that. Robots can just go do your fucking job. But you was worried about immigrants. Have a good day.